This story, Water and Sanitation Department officials are answering in Parliament today about irregular and wasteful expenditure. They are appearing before Scopa, that's the Standing Committee on Public Accounts. The Auditor General has found that the department did not hold officials accountable for fruitless expenditure totaling over 300 million rand in the last financial year. My colleague, that's eNCA reporter Monique Mortlock, is covering this story for us this afternoon. Joining us now for an update. Monique, it looks like there's a lot to answer for by the department in Parliament today.
Certainly, and Scopa has just concluded a marathon session with the Water and Sanitation Department officials, management from this department, answering questions by MPs and also telling Scopa committee that there is 8 billion rand in irregular expenditure that is still to be condoned by National Treasury. So far, only 1 billion rand has been condoned, meaning that 8 billion rand, it's about 15 cases that National Treasury is investigating of irregular expenditure. But we also heard from Minister Senzung Mchunu that he asked that the committee, that MPs have confidence in the department because it is working hard in tackling these what seems to be a financial crisis within the Water and Sanitation Department. But I'm fortunate enough to have the Deputy Minister here with me. Ms. Makhatsi, tell me, you also gave the assurance to the committee that the department is doing everything it can to tackle this financial crisis. How likely is it that the department can turn things around?
Thank you very much. Let me indicate that when the minister says trust us and the department says trust us, if you look at the year that we have spent in the office, we have been able to make sure that we deal with the challenges that have been there. Some of them issues of the water boards, some of them where there is disintegration of services, and I would say water users working, services authority working separately, the department working separately, the municipality working separately. And this is what the minister has been able to really bring together so that the services and the flow of programs and projects can be able to work. And these are some of the things that when you talk about the unauthorized expenditures, irregular expenditure, when there is different people doing almost similar things, but not working together, you end up having those challenges that we have seen in the department. I also need to indicate that with the work that we have been able to do, going to all the provinces, having a water summit, we're able to understand exactly what are the things that we need to do, and the reorganization of the department in particular, focusing on the mandate of the department, is one of the things that we can be able to say when we say, indeed, trust us, we should be able to work. But I also need to hasten to and say there are priority projects, which actually some of them date back 2008, 2012. We are making sure that those projects, we work on them, and most of them actually there is speed in that regard. And I'll just give an example that when you think of the Guyana project, which actually has been a pain, and when you open TV, there will be Guyana project, it's almost reaching completion. There will be very many villages that will be getting water out of the efforts and the work that we have done in the past year, and many other projects that we can be able to talk about. When you think of Machabeng, where there has been challenges of sanitation, we can talk about so many, but also talking about the Vaal River. We're working very hard to make sure that together with the province of Gauteng, Vaal River becomes a better river in the country. Talking to issues of pollution, of course, throughout the country, not only in the Vaal River.
And then just quickly, Minister, tell me, because this is something that some of the MPs asked, will there be any more people, employees from the Water and Sanitation Department being held responsible, those who are found guilty of being responsible for irregular or wasteful expenditure?
Yes, indeed. If you have heard the Director General, there's over 300 cases which actually now are being investigated, some of them almost reaching finality, and a whole lot of people who actually have been suspended. Some of them have been dismissed, and some of them there is progress at different phases of people who actually consequence management in the Department of Water and Sanitation is really going to the core of the challenges which are there.
Thank you so much, Minister. And I believe we do have some time. There is a soundbite from the CEO from the Trans-Caledon Transport Authority speaking to exactly what the Minister now spoke about, that consequence management. Let's just take a listen to what he has to say.
Now, through the board as well, had to take disciplinary action against everybody, because before you can even get to the stage of condonation, you need to show that you have actually taken that process. And we have done that. But where it's been a problem has been with the employees saying, but yes, I have taken the punishment, but I still think whatever we've done has not been wrong because we were following the process where we are. Now, there is another process that TCTA can follow, wherein we take this to board. But I think from our side, we did not want to rush to that process until we have made sure that there's no other way rather than going to board to look for condonation, because it's always best to start with Treasury and try and make sure that you get the condonation sorted out from there. So that's primarily, Chair, where we are. And I've tried to give a high level because the submissions that we've made are about the condonations, and about 81% of those, they relate to this.
Thank you very much, Monique Mortlock there from Parliament, updating us on the interaction today, answering questions, the Department of Water and Sanitation at Scopa.